Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RICANS. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim, Wakwathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kabakab coming at you with another lesson, and today's lesson is going to be entitled, Keep That Same. Okay, so the inspiration to do this lesson was, once again, some daily readings where I was reading Psalm chapter 137, and then basically I remember I saw the Spirit invoked a memory in me, okay, when I was reading this. Psalm chapter 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So now, like, obviously, not obviously, I guess, but me personally, I don't really have a issue with what's written in the scriptures. Okay, whatever the scriptures say, I absolutely 100% accept it and believe it. Do I wish that I was perfect in the eyes of Yahawadah? Of course. Are there times where I fall off now? Yes. Were there times when I went off, in the past incarnation of my lives? Most likely. All right. But the thing, and that's in terms of reincarnation. But that's only for those that can actually receive this. But my point is, like, imagine during the slavery times, you had your kids, okay? You had your kids, or maybe it was you, all right, that was taken from you and thrown to the alligators, fed to the alligators. The women had their stomachs cut open, the babies taken out, and then just thrown to the alligators like that. All right, that is an evil thing and a very cruel thing, which is where I got the title for this lesson for. Keep that same energy. All right. So in that same sense that they had no problem doing that to us, doing that to our children, to our women, okay, doing other stuff, all right, our enemies doing that to us, then they should not have a problem if the tables turn, right? Okay? And that's the sad reality to them. Okay, and I honestly do believe that more so the higher ups, or the Edomites that are more so in the know, they know what's coming. But the ones that are lowly, they honestly don't. They think that, oh, life is good, life is gonna keep on being good. They're not even aware of the growing tensions, the end time prophecies, the sea that's on the horizon. All right, Slock it. So like with everything that's happening, like they just forget that there is a God, there is YAHAWASHI, there is someone that is going to balance things out. They truly do forget that, and it's going to be they're going to be in for a rude awakening, all right? That the Lord is not, number one, is not dealing with them. The Lord did not give them this land like that. Well, he did give them this land, technically, but it wasn't permanent. It's all temporal, as the scriptures say, all right? Roughly paraphrasing, by the way. Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. They have a perpetual hatred towards us. All right, like it's And the funny thing is, you will hear Jake say a whole bunch of stuff like, "Oh, but what about the white man? Oh, but what about them? Oh, I have all these white friends. They never did anything like that to like." You have them going, Slocky. What's the word? They have you have them sticking their necks out for them. All right, but like they do not mess with you like that. All right, it's out of convenience. And there was even what's it called? I was watching this one video where someone was talking about how Israel, not Israel, but they said black people, but basically is oftentimes like their only purpose in a lot of things is for the convenience of other nations. Okay, and like I really never saw it like that. I never put that into a proper perspective. That is a very crazy thing to hear. All right, like I was genuinely shocked when I heard that, because I never truly realized that. We know, Slakia. Yes, we know about slavery and stuff like that, and how we were used in order to make this country, we were used to build this country. But like even today, we are still being, what's it called, just used and tossed to the wayside. Like whenever Jake makes money, especially like in celebrities and whatnot, I hear so much that so-called black celebrities, when they might be quote unquote rich, okay, but they have a limit on what they can and cannot buy or use their money for. They have a limit on what they can withdraw, and like a lot of their stuff is monitored, so that in the event that, let's say, what's that guy's name? I believe it was Akon. He said he went to Africa to help the Africans out. Okay, and the thing is, he probably could not have been able, or would not have been able, or been allowed to help the people in the so-called black people in America. Okay, and I think that's just the reality of things. Okay, like they don't want things to get better, so they are going to put a lock or put a restriction or say, "Oh no, you're not allowed to do this," and that's part of the I guess the deal, agreement, whatever, when you sell your soul to become a celebrity. Okay, like there's a lot of things. Like what was it? What wasn't Will Smith? Wasn't his claim to fame, or the start of his claim to fame, when he did some like gay scene or something like that, where he was in bed with another man or something like that. So like there's a lot of just stuff that we're just not allowed to deliver ourselves. We have to wait on the Lord, YAHAWASHI, to deliver. But yes, aside from that, there's also the fact that Esau, with all the stuff that Esau does to us, all the stuff that just the fact that Esau hates us. Okay, especially like the especially the higher ups. Okay, when it's time to pay, it's when it's payback time. All right, then they're gonna ask, "Oh, please, mercy, please, I'm sorry. Well, racism is over now. Like, you don't need to do like all this type of stuff, that type of mindset, that type of talk." Like they're genuinely going to be like begging and asking for mercy when they were a million times worse. Even today, they still do not like. And what's it called? Police brutality. We have police brutality to be afraid of. All right, like this is the type of stuff that is just like stopping us from truly what's the word? Stopping us and just keeping us down. That's the word. Keeping us down. All right. Psalm chapter 21 verse 11. For they intended evil against thee, they imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. So yeah, they even imagine to wipe us all out. Okay, but they're not able to because YAHAWASHI isn't giving them permission, isn't giving them the power to do so. Okay, they are physically incapable because YAHAWASHI is stopping them and preventing us from being eliminated. All right, because with how lowly we've been brought to, okay, even if we what's it called, all took up arms, like we can't win. Like we truly cannot win. And there's a lot of carnal reasons why, but the main reason is a spiritual reason, and the spiritual reason is the fact that the Lord YAHAWASHI will not allow us to deliver ourselves. He is making us wait until we're done with our until we all come back to Yahawashi, repent and get right with Him. All right. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. All right. Slack you about that. So yeah, that like these are all the evil that they have. They are intending. They are planning for us. But then what? When things start to get bad, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna beg and ask the Lord for forgiveness, beg and ask the Lord for help. Okay, let's get that. Judges chapter 10 verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Okay, so don't go asking, oh God, come help me, or even if they know the names of YAHAWASHI, which I did a lesson on that. I hope I can remember it. What's the precept name? If I can remember. Dang it. I'll have to find it. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Slovakia. The main thing was, I think it's Psalm chapter 110. Let's see. If I don't see it, I'm not gonna keep you all here longer. All right, never mind then. But basically, roughly paraphrasing, since I can't find it, Yahawadah, if I do find it, I will put it in post productions. But the main thing was, there's even going to be heathens that are calling on the name of Yahawadah, because this gospel is going to be spread out onto the four corners of the earth, where everybody will have heard of this word. Everybody will have known or have heard at least once that Yahawashi is going to return. All right, everyone will have heard of this truth, and everyone will have heard of the names of Yahawadah, Yahawashi. All right, so because of that, these people, primarily heathens, that are going to be that have lived their lives the way they wanted to, that they chose, and not had hearkened unto the words of Yahawadah in their time of trouble and their time of tribulation, then they're going to say, oh, Yahawashi, help me, okay, or Yahweh and Yahawashi, whatever you want to, whatever the way they're going to say it, okay, they may call on the names of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, delivered, but the thing is, they can't call on those names and expect the Lord to listen, because prior, and this also goes for Jake, the 2/3 of Jake too. You guys can't call on the name if you chose not to repent. You chose not to listen. You chose, when you did hear and you did hear the warning, you chose to continue in your wicked ways, continue in your wicked doctrine. Okay, this is why Slakia. Slakia. Okay, this is why like this whole last minute stuff or last minute believer. Okay, as a matter of fact, that's why there is no last minute. It's we made haste to keep the commandments. What was the other one? I just forgot it. Psalm chapter 119, verse 16. Verse 60. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. Okay? So I made haste. Immediately when you hear this word, when you hear this truth, when you hear this gospel, you want to make the change, make the start now. Not, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. All right? Luke chapter 12, verse 45. And if that servant say, Slakia, let me start over. Luke chapter 12, verse 45. Luke chapter 12, verse 45. But, and if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the manservants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers, and that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Okay, so over here, it's when we hear the word, we hear the warning, we need to immediately make the adjustment and say, okay, yeah, I wanna make the change now. I wanna serve YAHAWASHI now, and not what's it called? What's the word? Oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, as I had just mentioned previously. Okay, because while you are living it up and serving these other gods, okay, and not hearkening onto the word of YAHAWASHI, okay, that is when you're just going to, as you're partying it up and you lose track of time, or are not paying attention to the times, the signs of the times, okay, which we see how the times are now, and it's looking good for the Israelites, all right, but it's not looking good for the heathens and the 2/3, all right. Now, with that, okay, when the time comes, then again, they're gonna try to be a last minute believer, saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, and I'm listening to you. I want to do this, that, all this stuff. Like, no, you had your chance, and then you blew it. Okay, you squandered it. All right. Amos chapter 1, verse 9. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. Okay, so again, it goes back into keep that same energy, especially for these Edomites, all right, because they didn't have any mercy for us when, especially primarily during slavery. They don't have mercy on us when they are set those police on us. They got fucking police dogs. I've literally seen videos of police dogs biting on Jake. Okay, when the Jake is already handcuffed and on the ground. All right, I've literally seen that happen. Like, this type of stuff is crazy. And how much more when they are not caught on camera? Okay, what are they? And you also see people. I've also seen this one Edomite cop fucking stomp a dude, stomp a Jake, like when he was already handcuffed on the ground. Like, these people have that power trip shit. Like, they are on a power trip. All right. But again, like I said, keep that same energy. Okay. When you are suffering, when you are in your your lowest state, don't expect any mercy. Don't expect us to say, oh yeah, let me help you up, let me do this. No. All right. The same way you were killing our kids, beating us, raping our women, beating us even now. Okay. Policing us super hard. All right. We're going to be doing the same thing to you. Okay, let me get that as a matter of fact right quick. Revelation chapter 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So those that lead into captivity are going to also go into captivity. So they need to have their turn in captivity. All right, because just the same way they did to us. All right, and this is the type of wickedness that is waiting for you. All right. Judges chapter 8 verse 34. And the children of Israel remembered not the Lord Yahawah, who had delivered them out of the hands of all their enemies on every side. Again, just as a conclusion, this is not just for heathens, Edomites, whatever. It's also for the 2/3. Okay, because you guys did not want to heed the word of YAHAWASHI. You got all these prophets everywhere across the globe teaching and preaching, okay, trying to warn you to get out of this wicked mindset and return to YAHAWASHI. And if you choose, you don't want to, if you think living in Babylon is worth it, when there's it's all temporal, as the scriptures 6:19. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, and where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. All right. So right then and there, like, these things are corruptible. These things can be taken from you on earth, but in heaven they'll be everlasting and forever. All right. But with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Ba'asham, Yahawashi, Ba'asham, Rakakwadah. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, DTA, Abad, Mabal, and Shalom.